Hi, I'm really excited because you have no idea how many times I've heard from all the loan officers asking me, Miriam, there's so many programs out there, only if I knew how to use them. So we have so many experts here at Hamilton Group Funding, and finally I found no one else but the one, Cheryl Uart. For those who don't know her, I would like to present her since she is the coach of the day. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Cheryl, for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us today. And she would be pretty much the coach of the day for peer-to-peer bank statement program. Okay. So thank you for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Another fun fact that you don't know about Cheryl, right, is that she is a loan officer daytime, right, and extreme couponing by night. Is that true?
I do. I'm an extreme couponer.
There's two sides to you, huh?
Yep, but always finding the best deal in both aspects of my career.
She's a deal maker,
Yes.
for what we're hearing, right? So how many years have you been in business, Cheryl?
I've been in the mortgage industry for 16 years.
All right. I think she has some experience under her belt.
Yes.
And how long have you been at Hamilton?
Only a year. Actually, this month will be a year.
And you already became the expert at bank statement program. Cheryl is part of the community lending branch, which is awesome team. Kudos to Deanna Rivera, just saying out there. Anyways, and was she part of you learning this? I mean, I'm sure she was encouraging all of you guys to kind of, get out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely. She's very supportive in everything we do. She encourages us to always do our best and to learn. And anything we do learn that they may want us to help teach them, then we all share that information around the office. So we're all a really good group of team players, and we help each other out all the time. So we love that that's such a tight family that we have at Community Lending.
No surprises there. No wonder she's so ready to share with all of us her knowledge. So tell me something else. Why do realtors work with you?
They love that I always have the solution to a problem. So in South Florida, a lot of the realtors that I work with, they find themselves with clients who may not file all their tax return income and things like that. So I don't stop at a no. I always find a way to get a yes. So I'm always the first one to give the yes. They love the consistent communication that I provide. They love the expectations that I set up front. And then that helps a smooth, quick process because I do have that operations background. So they love that I just can get my hands in every aspect of the process.
So definitely you're very much involved. But I don't know, I've heard that you're known by something specifically, kind of like your street name out there, kind of like the why realtors and buyers work with you. Do you mind sharing that little secret with all of us?
I'm expedient. So I find to achieve the end result, giving certain circumstances, I find the way to make that happen. So we can always achieve that end goal, no matter what the circumstances.
So I think what I just heard is that Cheryl is the expedient mortgage professional.
Yes.
And you are known for that.
Yes.
Okay. So Cheryl, how many bank statement programs have you closed so far? And do you mind sharing like what percentage of your business is bank statements loans?
Absolutely. I've closed 9. Actually, today is my 9th closing for bank statements. And that is about 27% of my business. So...
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I think what I just heard as well is that practically every month you're doing a bank statement program, right?
At
because
least 2.
out of the 12 months that you've been with Hamilton, 9 of them have been the bank statement program. I want to know, so we understand the thought process, how do you come to the conclusion that the bank statement program is the best program for your borrower? I mean, do you mind sharing like a, small story of the why?
Yeah, if a client's saying, well, they told me I had too much debt to income or I don't have enough income, automatically that sets off a light bulb in my head that, well, if they're hearing no everywhere else, we have an option to give them a yes. Why not give them that option? We create a strategy on how to get them where they need to be so that they're prepared after the bank statement program to then refinance out into a traditional conforming product, which that then gives us 2 deals.
And it's our job precisely to become their trusted advisors. And the number one thing we need to do is educate them. And sometimes some of the borrowers, for what you're telling me, tell you, that sounds interesting, but probably the rates are much higher. Is that true or not?
It depends on their situation. Just like in a conforming loan, things are structured based on loan to value, based on their credit score, and that takes into effect when using the bank statement program as well. So it really just depends on the client, depends on what program they're doing. We usually see the rate is better on the 24-month bank statement program than the 12, but you can also do buyer paid or you can do lender paid, and the rate is different on each side.
So, Cheryl, incredible tips you've given us today, and sometimes that's what we really now need to be confident of what to offer and when to offer. Okay, so for example, why a bank statement program versus offering another option, non-delegated or broker?
So it depends on the client's current situation. If they are not documenting their income enough, but we know they have it, we know they make enough money, the bank statement program is the way to go because you can calculate their income through that. Whereas if they are a W-2 wage earner, you can do a bank statement program through that, but they're just not showing as much compared to what their debt would be. So in that space, I probably wouldn't put them into the bank statement program, but maybe just guide them on documenting their tip income or certain things that can get them on the right path because of that rate situation. They don't need to be there.
What if a borrower doesn't want to do the bank statement program? They're kind of afraid. Their neighbor told them, don't do that program. I mean, how do we overcome that objection?
So I reassure them it's just like any other loan. We document their assets. We document their income through their assets. So when I explain to them that the process is just as smooth as doing a regular, traditional, conventional, or FHA loan, I also remind them that even though they're putting less than 20% down, there's no mortgage insurance. So that also gives them like a really excited feel to it because they're like, oh, I don't have to pay mortgage insurance. Also, I tell them this is a temporary solution to get in your home or to get your goal accomplished because this gives them time to file their taxes properly. That way, in that 2-3 years, we can refinance them out and get them into the conforming rates. So when they hear that, they get excited because it gives them time. And a lot of people now, they do everything at the last minute and they're rushing. So now that we're doing this program, giving them time to get where they need to be, but it also gives us another deal and it gives us that returning business and no mortgage insurance. So that's a plus. And any points associated with that, they can write off on their taxes. So when you reassure them of some of those things, they feel a little more calmer that it's going to be fine.
That's huge. Just not having to pay mortgage insurance. I mean, if that doesn't convince them, what else would it be, right? Okay, so tell me something else, like typically what's the turn time on the bank statement program?
So it depends on which broker you're going through. So if
sorry, turn times and closing. Go ahead.
Okay, so I close them in about 30 days. Just the same as you would any other transaction. It also just depends on how much documentation you collect up front and prepare them for that process. So the process is the same going forward. All you do is instead of getting pay stubs and W-2s, you just collect their bank statements. So it's still a 30-day closing.
30-day closing? No, you're kidding me, right?
If you can move quick and get all your stuff ordered up front, you could probably get it done in 20 days.
20? Okay, come on, Cheryl. Come on, tell me the truth.
I said it. I'm serious. You can get it done in 20 to 30 days. If you're organized and you get your team on board and everybody knows, now this puts the buyer in an accountability position. They have to be cooperative because we are going to be moving quickly. Their turnaround time is the same turnaround time as ours with Angel Oak. Angel Oak is at 48-hour turn times in underwriting. Sprout is a little different. They're at a 4-day turnaround time. So you have to let your referral partners know, give me at least 45 days on this contract if you're going to be going through Sprout, just because you have to abide by their turn times. That's all.
So I think one of the things that Cheryl does great is that she sets the expectations in advance. So she puts all the clients, her customers at ease, right, by educating them and kind of let them know what the process is going to look like. And obviously you told them basically from A to C what to expect, right?
Yep. Under
Okay.
promise, over deliver.
So tell me, we have two investors right now that we're offering the bank statement program. One of them is Angel Oaks and the other one is Sprout. And every time the A calls me and said, oh, I'm the best because this and that. No, I'm the best. And how come you haven't sent me more business? And, you know, that kind of tug of war between investors. Of course, that's normal. They all want our business. Why not? But I decided that forget what they're saying to me. I need to go to the source, the person that is most expert at this. And of course, no one else but Miss Cheryl. So Cheryl, why should I work with Angel Oaks versus Sprout?
So Angel Oak is very communicative. I like that their rep, he answers every email. Well, even if he's copied on an email, he's responding. He follows up with me once the loan's approved. Hey, Jill, forget, you got to get these things in at this time. Anytime there's a question regarding underwriting conditions, he responds. I love that because I'm huge on communication.
I love that.
So if you communicate, I know you are working just as hard as I am. And I need a team like that. So I like that he's part of our team when it comes to that brokered program.
Nice. What about the other investor?
So I have a little trouble with Sprout. They do have great programs, I will say that, but it is a little more challenging getting communication from their team. Even copied on concerns, questions, it's very vague with the responses that we get, so it is pulling a little harder to get certain answers. But other than that, they do have some really good programs.
Okay. So we have choices, right? And like everything else, just because that was Cheryl's experience, that doesn't mean that your experience would be different. But now you know what you're dealing in advance, and that's part of what we're trying to do, share our experience so that you can start having your own experience in closing bank statement programs. Okay, so we already established that. Are the rates higher, not higher? Are there, Govy loans, FHAs, conventionals? Just give us a ballpark.
I would say the rates can range between 4 to maybe 6 if you're doing a borrower paid. If you're doing lender paid, you can expect between maybe 5.25, sometimes to 7.5, 8. It just depends on the transaction. If it's bank statement or if it's a foreign national, it really just depends on the occupancy. So, but that's the range you can expect between, I would say, about 4.5, maybe to 7.5, 8%.
So they vary.
They vary.
Bottom line. Are they a bit higher or not versus Govy and conventional?
A little bit higher.
Okay, but not so much,
Not so
right?
much.
So that's important because
But no
a lot
mortgage insurance.
no mortgage
No
insurance.
mortgage insurance.
All right. So do you mind also, can you explain to us what are the links and where can we find them?
Yes. So you can click the Angel Oak link, and when you get there, you go to the quick qual. And that quick qual allows you to plug in information based on your loan. So the credit score, the loan amount, the occupancy type, if there's a housing history, what type of property it is. And it's going to generate the down payment option, that it has to be a minimum of this. So it lets you know right away what are the terms of this product. So it'll let you know if you're doing a cash out refinance, it has to be 15%, things like that. And then once you're done, it automatically gives you the rate options. So now you can choose from borrower paid or lender paid. So it gives you everything right there within a matter of seconds, instead of having to locate the matrix and add all the adjustments to it, which can get very confusing.
Yeah. So for what I'm hearing, it's pretty easy.
Super easy.
Why in the world is people keep on telling Mary, I'm not doing those bank statement programs because they're too difficult, they're a pain, this and that. So everything I'm hearing from you, Cheryl, excuses. That's all there is. So bottom line, if you want to close more loans, you've been missing out. And guess who's been catching all those loans? Miss Cheryl. So we want to invite you to also try new things, new options, educate yourself so you're better prepared to educate your borrowers with different options, right? So can you tell them, so that we can wrap it up, here's what I'm going to say. So we can wrap it up, right? Kind of bullet points, what's important. Can you tell us what are the best practices? Let's try to summarize the party and, right, land the plane kind of deal. Now we've understood why it's so important to have options to our borrowers and give them another reason to work with us. So give us an idea very quickly. Number one, best practices.
Always double check with the rep first, because with Angel Oak, once you submit that quick qual, you'll get an automatic pre-approval back. But that doesn't mean that they've reviewed the income. So what he does is he actually sends it to the underwriter, and in 24 hours, you'll have an actual pre-qual with the quoted rate and all the details, along with specific conditions of what's needed based on that borrower's scenario. Sprout does not do that. So you just kind of get a verbal over the phone as to what the pricing would be for it and what is the best program to choose. So with Angel Oak, you'll actually get the pre-approval.
Hey, pre-approval. All I heard was not even the pre. I'm hearing approval, approval, and that's that. Okay, guys? So what about the yellow comp? Because that's the typical question they ask us. What do you think about that?
So you could either deny the borrower and you don't get the deal and you get nothing, or you can help a family. It's still a unit. It's still helping a family, and you can take something rather than nothing. And at the end of the day, it helps us achieve our overall ending goal for the year. And that's what I focus on, is my goal, as well as helping with them achieve theirs.
Love it. So in other words, she's going to find every single reason to approve more borrowers,
Yes,
correct?
Absolutely.
And this is why here we are. Cheryl, you're known as the...
Expedient Mortgage Professional.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.